Lives na Kik de segunda a sexta às 9 da noite. Fica ligado aí. Link na descrição. O bagulho é Copa. Tá chegando a hora, final do ano. Ano que vem é Copa. Já ficamos animados. Nando Moura faz assim, né? Já ficamos animados com a Copa. Então, na visão de um gringo, por que o Brasil precisa vencer a Copa de 2026? Vamos ver. Traduzir aqui para os burros. Vou ficar traduzidinho na sua tela aí.
The most football-mad nation on the planet. But come 2026, that madness is going to turn into something else.
6 months ago, I don't think many of us would have considered Brazil a World Cup favorite. Now that you've seen these two games, now that you know it's going to be Carlo Ancelotti in charge, do you see a situation where maybe a month out of the World Cup, we're talking about this Brazil team?
2026 has to be the year. The United States has to be the location. This isn't a question of the team having a choice. It's a must. This is why Brazil...
Na Copa de 94 que o Brasil ganhou, o Tetra era nos Estados Unidos. Oportunidade de ouro para você renovar seu guarda-roupa com camisas básicas e de qualidade. É a Black em dobro da Classic. Você consegue comprar a Muscle Shirt, que é essa que você está vendo aí nesse vídeo, duas pelo preço de uma. Ou seja, você coloca 4 no seu carrinho e vai pagar 2. Por que 4? É a regra da promoção. No mínimo, você tem que botar 4 camisas no seu carrinho para poder participar da promoção. Ou seja, tu vai pagar 2. E se tu botar 6, tu vai pagar 3. Se tu botar 8, tu vai pagar 4. É a Black em dobro da ClassicBR.com. Entre em ClassicBR.com, selecione suas camisetas lá da promoção e use o cupom Tiago em dobro. Não se esqueça deste cupom Tiago em dobro, ok? Camisa básica de qualidade, baratinho por 50 pila nessa promoção, que em outros lugares é 200, 250 pila. É realmente de qualidade. Ela é desenhada, ela é costurada para realçar seus ombros, braços, peitoral e para dar uma disfarçadinha na pança, porque ela é um pouco mais compridinha ali embaixo, certo? ClassicBR.com, cupom Tiago em dobro, é a promoção Muscle Shirt, é a Black em dobro da Classic, tá? Que dura até o dia 30 de novembro. 30 de novembro, 11h59 da noite, acaba. Então aproveite, renove o seu guarda-roupa com a ClassicBR.com. Não era? Estados Unidos dá sorte pra nós.
Has to win the 2026 World Cup. And the most obvious reason is simple. It's an obsession. But just before I tell you what that obsession is, though, you know the deal on matchday moments. We're trying to bring you quality content like this. And in turn, you can help the channel by liking this video and hyping it up too. We get to reach a wider audience and you get even more videos like this.
Brazil are going to win the World Cup?
I hope, yes.
You think so? Look at this, bro. We are Brazil, bro. We are
Que vergonha, cara.
Brazil. We don't have fear about anything. Of course, we are going to win the World Cup.
You listen to these fans and you get a glimpse of what the idea is. It's a nation mad about football, but that also has now become obsessed with becoming champions of the world again, and it's easy to understand why. Since they last won it in 2002, it's been heartbreak after heartbreak. They assembled what looked like the football version of the Avengers in 2006. Dida, Cafu, Lucio, Roberto Carlos, Kaká, Zé Roberto, Gilberto Silva, Juninho, Adriano, Ronaldo Nazario, Ronaldinho, Robinho, all these superstar names in one team only to get knocked out in the quarter-finals by France and Zinedine Zidane. 2010 was a repeat of what happened in 2006. The squad was different, but the expectation was the same. The result, though, was a quarter-final exit to the eventual runners-up, Netherlands. And then came 2014, the one that hurt the most.
FIFA's World Cup 2014 to the country Brazil.
On home soil, it almost felt like the perfect script written for the national team. The team looked like a team again, led by Thiago Silva at the back, with players like Julio Cesar in goal, David Luiz, Marcelo, Dani Alves, Ramirez, Hulk, Oscar, and the poster boy Neymar on paper. They looked like they had the perfect balance of youth and experience. In 2000,
Não dá, não.
Marcelo, Dani Alves.
Não, com o Tiago Silva, Davi Luiz, Júlio César no gol, não dava, não.
Alves,
Dava pra nós não, meu chefe.
Ramirez, Hulk,
Ramírez, Hulk, não dava, não.
Oscar, and the poster boy Neymar.
Oscar joga porra nenhuma também.
On paper, they looked like they had the perfect balance of youth and
Fred, atacante titular, Fred.
experience.
Para, vai. Dava pra nós não, velho.
In 2014, for the first time since 2002, they made it past the quarter-final hurdle after beating Colombia, but it came at a cost. Neymar's injury ruled him out of the competition. Captain Tiago Silva was suspended for the semi-finals. Two big names out, and what happened in the semi-finals against Germany remains one of the darkest days in Brazilian history. It still sends goosebumps looking at that result. 7-1. They'll eventually lose the third and fourth placed playoff match to the Netherlands to finish fourth. An improvement from the last two editions on one hand, but on the other hand, a tournament they don't talk about anymore. In 2018, it was a different expectation. Thiago Silva and Neymar were still in the team, but this time they'd added more names. Felipe Coutinho, the headline transfer at the start of that year from Liverpool to Barcelona, was in the squad. In Alisson Becker, they had one of the world's best emerging goalkeepers. Marcelo still owned the left flank. Players like Gabriel Jesus, Casemiro, Willian, Roberto Firmino, and
Só merda.
Douglas Costa
Porra, 5 merdas.
had come into the team. The performances weren't all that convincing in a group stage containing Switzerland, Serbia, and Costa Rica, but they still finished as group winners. Beat Mexico in the round of 16, but in the quarterfinals against Belgium, they lost 2-1 to get knocked out again. Which brings us to the most recent
Copa morna essa de 2018, perder pra Bélgica de 2-1. Puta que pariu.
edition. Thiago Silva and Neymar led the team in 2022 in Qatar. They topped the group stage, beat South Korea in the round of 16, but in the quarterfinals against Croatia, heartbreak. They lost on penalties. Since winning the World Cup in
Porque o Neymar não bateu o primeiro pênalti.
2002, Brazil had been knocked out at the quarterfinal stage in 4 of the last 5 editions. But what's even crazier is the national expectation at every event.
And we're like, oh, we won. We hug ourselves and no semifinals, Argentina predicting and everything. But okay, let's go 4 years, United States, Mexico, and Canada. Let's win that.
This fan speaking here was talking after the team just lost to Croatia at the quarterfinal stage in 2022. The point is, even
Tem um pouco de culpa minha. Pra quem tava na transmissão ao vivo lá do Desinformação, lembra, né? Tava de 1-0 pro Brasil. Pra quem não lembra, eu vou contar. Tava de 1-0 pro Brasil.
after every heartbreak,
E aí eu falei assim,
every defeat,
se a gente desligar a TV aqui por um minuto, a gente conta 1 minuto
The 5 stars on the national team crest are there for a reason. Brazil
e depois de 1 minuto a gente liga de novo e vê como é que tá.
in the competition history.
Aí fizeram isso. Desligaram a TV, contamos 1 minuto, 1 minuto.
Every competition
1 minuto ligamos, Croácia comemorando o gol. 1-1. Depois de uns minutos eu falei assim, cara, vamos fazer de novo que vai dar o efeito reverso.
MBL satânico mandou R$10. Eu amaldiçoou a seleção brasileira, enquanto não nos livrarmos desses sodomitas satânicos do MBL, nunca teremos uma seleção com homens de verdade, como Nazari o comedor de belos travestis no nível da Sayuri, e jogadores bandidos. Sem eles na seleção e sem o MBL caído por terra, esqueçam taça.
Tem que ter jogadores bandidos, né? Jogadores que dão problema, jogadores que são presos, jogadores que participam de escândalos com travestis. Tem que ter esse tipo de jogador. É muito jogador, muita Nutella, né? Mas enfim, voltando à história. Aí 1-1 pra Croácia. 1-1, empate, né? Aí eu falei assim, não, vamos fazer de novo o esquema de desligar a TV por 1 minuto. Depois de 1 minuto a gente liga e aí vai ter sido o gol do Brasil. Vou reverter isso. Fizemos novamente, desligou a TV, passa 1 minuto, ligamos a TV, outro gol da Croácia. 2-1. Cara, é óbvio que não tem correlação nenhuma, mas a minha DM naquele dia ficou cheia de xingamento. Tipo assim, vai tomar no cu, filha da puta. Zicou o Brasil, seu merda. Caralho, eu tomei um hate absurdo naquele dia, cara.
They've had to wait since they last won it. 2026 will make it 24 years since Brazil last became the champions of the world. A new generation waiting to experience what used to be the norm for the national team in mid-90s to early 2000s. This just has to be the
Foi 1-1, pô. O que foi a segunda vez que eu desliguei a TV mesmo? Acho que foi no pênalti, cara. Eu acho que foi no pênalti. Acho que no primeiro pênalti, que foi o Rodrigo que bateu, eu falei pra desligar de novo. E aí, quando a gente ligou, ele tinha acabado de perder o pênalti. Foi uma merda assim, mas teve 2 desligadas de TV e as 2 deram merda pro Brasil.
the year, and they're taking steps to ensure it happens in 2026. The biggest one? Breaking...
Sabão mandou R$5. Fiz projeto no meu Unway 2011 e tá mogger as fuck. É impossível achar inteiro, mas recomendo.
Projeto no meu Unway 2011? Eu não entendi, isso é carro?
National tradition. Roman Platero, 1925. Joreca, 1944. Filpo Nunes, 1965.
Carlo Ancelotti is going to become the new head coach of Brazil. He will start his new job on the 26th of May. He will be in charge of Brazil for their World Cup qualifiers next month.
Carlo Ancelotti, 2025. What do these four names have in common for Brazil? These are the only foreign coaches in Brazil's 35-man coaching history to coach the national team. With Carlo Ancelotti, it's a statement of intent.
To see Ancelotti, when he gets his time, he is the best in the world to put people together, find a way to let them act together. And I mean, not talking so much about system or 4-2-3-1, just to find a way to...
Cara, o pior é que agora, 2026, a gente tem o melhor técnico do mundo. Dizem alguns o melhor técnico da história. O Carlinhos. Carlinhos tá lá. Temos um bom time, sem Neymar, sem depender do Neymar. Temos Vini Júnior apaixonado, vai jogar muito. Temos Estevão jogando muito. Temos Endrick jogando muito. Já temos um ataque. O time não tá ruim, o time tá bom. Se com um time bom, Carlo Ancelotti arrumar aquilo ali direito, treinar aquilo ali direito, a gente não ganhar, acho que a gente não ganha mais. Vai passar mais, 50 anos sem ganhar, cara.
Play together.
Ou então o futebol vai surpreender como sempre. A gente vai na Copa de, 2030, ter uma merda de time, um técnico merda, Rogério Ceni, um jogador meio merda, e aí vai ganhar. Porque é assim que funciona a porra do futebol, cara.
This isn't about getting a coach who comes in to build a tactical identity or a formation for future generations. This isn't about whether he plays a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2. This is about getting in a man who knows how to win. His track record proves it. Carlo Ancelotti. Don Carlo. The only manager to win league titles in each of the top 5 European leagues. He's won Serie A with AC Milan, won the Premier League with Chelsea, won the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich, won League One with PSG, and won La Liga with Real Madrid. Add this to winning the Champions League with both Milan and Real Madrid, and Ancelotti is a serial winner. The manager with the most Champions League wins in the competition.
Aí vem um leão. E o Oswaldo de Oliveira encherem o saco desse cara. 2 merdas velhas. 2 pedaços de merda grisalho.
Amongst active managers still coaching both across club and national level, only Pep Guardiola with 40 has won more trophies than Ancelotti's 36. It's a history that speaks for itself, and a relationship with stars that does the same. Ancelotti's biggest strength has never been tactics.
What I really love about Carlo was his man management, the way he adapted as well, because he had a way of coaching that probably didn't suit English football, but he adapted very quickly. When speaking to me, Frank, Didier, he wanted to pick up brains of, is this too much tactics for the players to do? Are we doing too much of this? I want to get the right balance. And that, I've never had a manager actually, in probably all my career, that had asked the players and give them a bit of responsibility. Because as players naturally, we think, oh, well, it's the manager, it's never our fault. He brought into the fact that everyone buys into it.
It's this, his man management skills, his ability to get the best out of players, regardless of whatever system he played them in.
I played 4 or 5 games, right? And I was coming to the end of my contract. And I don't know why he picked me for that game. Do you know what I mean? Like, just come out of the blue. But he had a way of making you... He's like, I need you for this game. And I'm like, I could have been forgiven for being agitated or aggravated or something like that, but it just made me feel like wanted.
2 players who played under different managers for longer and yet still describe Ancelotti in the same light. His most recent spell at Real Madrid was a classic.
O Ancelotti é um grande fumante, né? Pessoas que são fumantes são confiáveis, são boas pessoas geralmente. Não pode mais fumar na beira do campo igual ele fumava pra caralho. Agora, sabe o que ele faz? Ele masca chicletes de nicotina o jogo inteiro. E não é sacanagem não, é o jogo inteiro, um atrás do outro, o jogo inteiro. Nicotina no sangue e título na mão, meu amigo. Essa é a história de Carlo Ancelotti.
Classic example. He won the double of La Liga and the Champions League in 2024 without playing a recognized number 9. He built a system that made the team adapt, gave Jude Bellingham an incredible debut season at the club, made Vinicius Jr. a leading candidate for the Ballon d'Or that year, Translate all of that to the national team now, and it's just what they need. Since Luis Felipe Scolari last coached the national team to winning the World Cup in 2002, they've gone through 12 different managers in 24 years. Out of these 12, only Dunga in 2007 and Tite in 2019 have managed to win silverware with the national team. Both
E tudo que o Tite não é tight, né?
managers won
cara meio mole, assim.
the Copa America. What this translates to is that the other 10 managers have come in with different systems, tried to build national team squads based on various principles, and have ultimately failed. There is no other context for failure with the footballing history Brazil has. You either simply win, or you don't. Ancelotti knows this too. He's already talking about building a squad based on his idea.
I think every one of us must think only in one task that is clear.
Pensa a un objetivo que
The objective must be to win the World Cup and not being the best player of the world during the World Cup.
tem que ser, no sé, ganar el mundial.
I don't want that kind of players that want to be in the World Cup to be considered the best.
No quiero jugadores que piensan que quieren estar en el mundial para
He must in the competition to win the World Cup.
estar en el mundial para ganar el mundial.
His idea has always been the same, to build a team. In that clip, he mentions building a squad full of players who want to compete for the national team. Not just players who want to show they can play at the World Cup. You can see it happening in 2026 too. Post-2002, the 2026
Mas não pode ter pombo de título de camisa 9, porra. Não pode.
World Cup is going to be the first edition Brazil enters without having a star name in the team. Think about it. At every edition, there's always been that one player, or players that everyone believes will carry the weight of the national team. In 2006, there were several. In 2010, Kaká. From 2014 to 2022, it's been Neymar and Tiago Silva. Coming into 2026, Neymar's injury problems mean he's more likely not to play at the World Cup than he is to make the team. Tiago Silva has retired from the national team. It's a fresh start. Ancelotti is trying to build a system where they suffer as a collective. Think back to every
Não, esses treinos com golzinho não dá, não.
start. Ancelotti is trying to build a system where they suffer as a collective. Think back to every World Cup failure since Neymar arrived, and it's always been on him, on his lifestyle, on the stuff he does outside the pitch. Why? Because the weight of expectation was on him. This time, it'll be spread. From players like Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha to Rodrigo Goes, Willian Estevao, Bruno Guimaraes, Gabriel Eder Militao,
É, não, aí foda.
Rafinha to Rodrigo Goes, Willian Estevao, Bruno Guimaraes, Gabriel Eder
Não, é Bruno Guimarães, puta, Gabriel Jesus,
Militao and
Militão.
Alisson. It's a mix without a particular name that stands out. That has to be the key, and it just might be. The squad is different. It's a proper mix of talent, experience,
Fabrício Bruno na seleção. Tem coisa que não dá não, velho. Fabrício Bruno não dá. Por mais que eu seja cruzeirense, né? Fabrício Bruno na seleção não dá não, velho.
and youth. In players like Alisson Becker and Casemiro, you have players who have won with the national team alongside winning at the club level. In players like Gabriel, Marquinhos, Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha, you have arguably the top two in the world in their positions. In players like Willian Estevao and Endrick, if he does...
Cara, se o Ancelotti trabalha o Endrick pra ser um 9, pra ser um atacante, esse moleque ia ser pica. Ele é bom jogador.
Make the team, you have the future of the sport. Then you look at the
Tira o pombo, já deu errado. Tira o Richarlison, cara.
other mix in between. Eder Militao, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Lucas Paqueta, Richarlison, João Pedro.
Não, Richarlison e João Pedro. João Pedro é bom, né? Mas o Richarlison não dá mais, não.
And Gabriel Martinelli. These are
Nossa, Gabriel Martinelli. Nossa senhora.
all solid options to have. Then, of course, there's the other side of the picture that the nation will understand.
Message for Argentina and Messi.
Neymar is the greatest.
I'm waiting for you.
Who is Messi? Messi?
Who is Messi?
Who is Messi?
Where is he?
I'm looking for...
If there's one...
É a soberba do brasileiro. Luiz Messi. Luiz Messi, meu amigo. Campeão atual do mundo. Atual campeão do mundo. Carregando o time nas costas. Maior da história. Um dos maiores da história.
Country that hurt most to see Argentina winning the World Cup in 2022, it's Brazil. In that moment, Argentina had confirmed what was an already increasing marker. When it comes to South American football right now, Brazil might have the money, but it's Argentina that has the culture and the ability to win. Need context? The Brazilian league is the wealthiest in South America. The last 6 Copa Libertadores, the South American version of the Champions League, have been won by Brazilian teams. In those 6 finals, 4 of them have been against Brazilian sides, all Brazilian affairs. But you look at the coaches in the dugout and it paints a different picture. 4 of the last 6 Brazilian league titles have been won by Portuguese manager Otto Gloria. If you're thinking what we're about to tell you is only happening at club level, get this. Carlo Ancelotti, as Brazil's national coach, now means no national team in South America is managed by a Brazilian. Flip the switch and you'll realize that 7 of the national teams in CONMEBOL are now managed by Argentines. It's all of this that makes the 2026 World Cup a must-win for Brazil. A country obsessed with winning. A coach who knows how to win. A team that for the first time in over 20 years doesn't have a recognized star player. Instead, it's about the collective. After watching Argentina rise to the top of both continental and world football, Brazil wants the throne back. How to win it again? It has to start in 2026. But what do you think? Can Brazil actually win the World Cup in 2026? Or will it be yet another heartbreaking story for the national team again? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to hit that like button to this video, hype it too, and click subscribe to Matchday Moments for more videos like this.
Vai ser em 2026. Tem que ser agora. Eu confio nesses moleques, eu confio no Ancelotti. E eu profetizo que vai ser. Vai ser ano que vem. A gente nunca ficou mais de 24 anos sem ganhar uma Copa, pô. Em 94 a gente não ganhava desde 70, então era 24 anos. E agora desde 2002 são também 24 anos. A gente nunca passou desse jejum, velho. A gente tem que ganhar. Já tô triste nada, não tem nada de triste não, Amanda. Ano que vem, Miguelzinho vai estar o quê? Com 9 meses de idade. Já vai estar entendendo um pouco melhor as coisas. Vai ser um bebê ainda, né? Mas nada impede a gente botar uma camisa do Brasil nele. Vuvuzelas. Aqueles negocinhos, aqueles spray de barulho. E a gente vai enlouquecer nessa casa. E o Brasil vai ser campeão. E se não for, você vai acompanhar isso na nossa transmissão ao vivo na Warbox.tv. Que a gente vai transmitir com um repórter na rua. Que será Igor Caçamba na rua, entrevistando as pessoas. Quantos anos eu tinha em 94? Eu tinha 1 ano. Obviamente não me lembro. Nem de 98 eu lembro alguns relances assim, da Copa. Mas aqui eu lembro... A primeira Copa que eu lembro de fato assim, de acompanhar, de ver, de ter a memória na minha cabeça ainda é 2002. Essa eu lembro com riqueza de detalhes.